it's quite, I'm grateful for this opportunity. My question is on the Bible translation categories. To say you've mentioned the three, just to ask, yes, the three categories. So what about the books, the Bible translations like Amplified Version? Which category does that one fall under?
Thank you. When you are asking questions, many things I did not say that, and you're giving opportunity to clarify your question. You see, we said that there are three categories, but there are some Bible translations, really, they cannot be put in any one of those three categories, but they come somewhere between the two categories. For instance, New Revised Standard Version. It's very hard where to put it. You'll find that some people, they say, no, it is literal, but when you read, it's not literal. But they said, no, it's dynamic. Some people said, no, it's not dynamic. Where's the truth? It's somewhere between. So yes, we have three categories, but not all Bible translations are really rigidly can be set within one category. So the truth can be somewhere between. Amplified Bible, oh boy, it's a very, very good question. I'd suggest, but please, this is just a suggestion, that Amplified somewhere between dynamic and paraphrases, but much closer to dynamic than paraphrase. I would be wrong to say that they're paraphrasing. They're not. But there is element in that Bible too. I don't know if I provided a clear answer. Thank you. I really appreciate for asking the question. There is a question.
Sanbonani Basarani. Thank you so much, Professor. We are really learning a lot. I have a question concerning this event that John wrote about. Did he write about something? I want a clarity on that. Some of the event maybe had they already happened, or everything he wrote about was futuristic. Yes, so that is the question I want clarity. Maybe some of the event he wrote about had already happened, or all the events are just in the future.
Very important question. And I will try to respond in the best possible way that I'm able. Please, and if I misunderstood the question, please correct me one more time. You see, all the events in the book of Revelation must be defined from John's perspective on the basis of chapter 4:1. What do we read in chapter 4:1? I spoke about that, you attended last night. Jesus said to John, come here up, and I will now show to you what will take place after these things, meaning the messages to the seven churches. So, from John's perspective, everything that he wrote was about the future, for him. Okay, so from John's perspective, can I put it here? So just imagine John is here.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of Christian history. So everything is future from John's perspective. But you and me, we are standing here. For us, some of those prophecies are already, some of them were fulfilled in the past. And there are some of those prophecies yet to be fulfilled in the future. So you see, we are dealing here with two different things. What was for John? For John, everything was the future. That's what Jesus showed to him. But for us, interpreters, can I put it this way? Christians who lived 100 years ago, they were here. For them, there are events in the past, events in the future. For them, some things are for future. But we who are 100 years later, for them was the future. For us, it's already the past. I don't know if it makes sense.
It's making lots of sense.
And I would suggest, no, fantastic question. Thank you for giving opportunity to explain. generally, and that's what I am advocating. That's what I'm advocating. And it's generally accepted by scholarship, conservative scholarship, yes, that the book of Revelation consists of 5 major parts. Sorry, I have to correct myself. Not 5 major, 5 parts. 3 are majors. The book of Revelation begins with the introduction and concludes with a conclusion. Introduction is Revelation 1 to 8. The first 8 verses is introduction. And if you go to chapter 22, 8 to 21 is the conclusion. We are not focusing on that. But the main content of the book consists of 3 major parts. The first part are the messages to the 7 churches. Those messages were primarily, not exclusively, relevant to the Christians of time John, but of course, they have prophetic significance as well. This is the first part. The second part, we call it historical. It means that there are prophecies about the history of the church. And the church is located in the world that is hostile to the gospel. So we have, from the time of John, going all up to the time of the end. And the third part, so chapters 4 to 11 is the historical part. But chapters 12 to 22, we call it eschatological. From the word eschatology, it means the doctrine of the last things. So the focus is on the time of the end. Let me just provide one note of clarification. Not everything in the historical part is about the history. For instance, 144,000, it's about the time of the end. Okay. Or not everything in the eschatological part is about the time of the end. There's some things going back to history in order to provide the context. But the focus of the second session is with history, and the focus on the third section, eschatological, is on the time of the end. This general. So I hope that I was able to explain. For John, everything was the future. However, we as Christians, we look many of those prophecies, historical part, the events took place in the past. But there are still some events that we're still waiting for the fulfillment to happen in the future. And one more note. You see, I'm a preacher, you know. Preacher are always finishing 2.5 hours. You see, when we are interpreting about the events happened in the past, usually among the Christians, there is a great agreement on the meaning of those prophecies. But the problem is, with reference to the prophecies yet to be fulfilled. We know what will happen according to the book of Revelation. We know what will happen, but we have to be very careful. For the final fulfillment and the final understanding of these prophecies, we have to wait for the time of the fulfillment. I hope what I said makes sense. Thank you for the question. The question was very much important. We have here. Sorry, unless somebody.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I just want to go back to what is behind you now. I think this was the gist of today, because you were bringing us to how to understand prophecy, especially in the Bible. The book of Revelation is full of symbols. And as such, then we have to know how to interpret those symbols or how to understand those symbols. And you have shown us there are 4 sources of the symbols in the book of Revelation, which is key and very critical, very, very important. Now, you brought those. I think the comfort in the house is on point 1 and point number 4 on your, they are very comfortable with that. But then there is that number 2 and 3, Jewish apocalypticism. The question is accessibility of such information. Of course, Google is there today, but I'm simply saying one may feel intimidated by what is not accessible.
Intimidated by what?
What is not easily accessible.
Okay.
Yes, the Old Testament and the New is readily available, and then you have your the first is Jewish apocalypticism, and then the first century world of Asia Minor. It's very good. Some commentaries they will take you through when you do chapter 2 and 3 in the book of Revelation, the background. Now I'm saying you have given us something very important, so that we understand the symbolism of the Old Testament. I'm sorry, of the book of Revelation. Now, how then is the ordinary me here going to access the information that you have, especially on 2 and 3?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What you just said, it's very, very loaded. And I really can spend a little way talking about 1 hour of what you are saying. So, but I will be, for all practical purposes, I will be okay. I have a hard time to do that. Okay. Number one, when we are dealing with many things in the book of Revelation, they are not essential to our salvation at all. Unfortunately, many Christians are involved in debates about some things in the book of Revelation. They're not essential for our salvation at all. Can I just say something? Please, I hope I'm not being misunderstood. Is 666 essential to our salvation? Can I just put ourselves on the level of a child? Just can you imagine? One day, there is second coming of Christ, and we all pastors are there, going to enter New Jerusalem. And Jesus comes, my child, how did you understand 666? It's not understood. Wrong, get out, you cannot enter New Jerusalem. Will that define entrance into the kingdom? You see, sometimes some people, they make some things that are crucial for our salvation, they're not at all. It is good to know them. It is good to know. Are you still with me?
Yes, very well.
It will help me better to understand many things in the book of Revelation, but not essential to our salvation at all. And I would really, regarding denomination you are part of, don't create theological division in your congregation based on the things that are not essential to our salvation. I'm sorry. I dare to say to you, I hope you will not take it wrong.
No.
The purpose of my preaching is, if you can watch it, you can see the way how I preach. Things, last night I preached about 24 elders. I believe this is essential to our salvation. You saw why. But you see, last night, number of things like 4 living beings, I just did in passing class. They're not important. It's good that we understand them, but if you understand them, how much will it help you to be a better Christian? That's the point. So I would like really that we understand that sometimes we make some things of essential importance for our Christianity that are really not. However, they're good to understand. There are Bible commentaries, commentary book of Revelation, that they neglect completely the Old Testament and the New Testament. They even don't mention everything. Usually there are liberal scholars who believe that the book of Revelation carries mythology, myths from ancient Rome and ancient Greece. And they focus only on these 2 things. For instance, my good friend, David Alney, in the Word Biblical Commentary, 3-volume commentary, he focuses on this. So there are many sources. We are not focusing now on believers, because I believe we as pastors, we can help them in that. But we as pastors, really, it's a good thing that we build our library. Can we be honest? You just yesterday, you had problem with your car. The engine is bad. And you come to me. Sorry, just imagine I live here, this country. Okay, you come here. Boy, my car is dead. I said, I know auto mechanic who can help you. Take car there. You take the car and you go there. And the person shows up. I said, are you an auto mechanic? Yes, I am. He doesn't have any tool. Don't worry, I don't need tool. I will repair your car. Will you leave your car to the person? Can somebody be good auto mechanic without any tool? You see, it's impossible to be a pastor. You see, the books for pastor in the library is what the tools are for auto mechanic. So today it's very, very important. And friends, I just want to tell you, we as Christians today, we're much more fortunate than Christians who were 100 and 200 years ago. They did not have accessible tools. Yeah, especially now the computer system, electronics, books. There are so many possibilities. No, some of you will say, well, does it mean that we are saying that the people 200 years ago, they didn't have understanding of the book of Revelation? No, everything what was important for their salvation, they have a complete understanding. But we are today getting better understanding. We have more insights. We have today better linguistic understanding of certain words. We have better understanding of history because archaeologists, they brought many ancient sources to us today, etc. So there are many tools. But I would suggest to you, when you are talking to your believers in your church, please help them understand that there are some things, if they don't understand, they still can understand the essential message of the book of Revelation. Some of you will ask me, so what is the essential message of Revelation? Can I take freedom to tell you what I presented yesterday? If we understand that, that's enough for the entrance into the kingdom. Everything else, it's more beneficial if we understand. But even though if you do not know, if you don't know other, if you just know the Old Testament, I just want to tell you, you can have a perfect understanding of the book of Revelation. And that will be my response at this moment. I hope I provided clear understanding. Thank you so much.
Can you close it?
You have done, huh?
Yeah, yes.
Good.
Thank you, Professor, for such a powerful presentation. We're going to break now, but before we break, let's just do some housekeeping. And I will start by asking SD 485.